The Tennis Channel proudly presents a Daviscup Classic. The 1989 semifinal tie between the USA and Germany, Andre Agassi and Boris Becker. Playing indoors on the carpet in Munich, that means fast, right?
Yes, this is going to favor Boris big time.
Off the net cord. There's a winner.
Agassi. You notice these balls aren't setting up. The balls are going to...
In 5 sets, giving the U.S. a 1-love advantage.
Now that's a big serve. Andre with some of the big...
Wells, California.
Late. First service.
Gets it. Andre.
Right into the corner.
That's why they call him the best returner in the game. And a double.
Spiel.
A miscue. Agassi in the first. Agassi to serve.
15
It's a great first serve by Andre.
Terrific tennis. The reigning champs in '89 by virtue of their '88 victory over Sweden.
There's an unforced...
Daviscup.
That's a great return to serve by Boris. Close call. No complaints.
Magnified because, as you can see with the size of this crowd in Munich, he felt the weight of a nation. He said every time he took the press came his way, was asked to comment on things even involving politics and the Cold War at the time.
Nice.
Level at 2 after the hold. Here's Becker serving. And serving well.
That's an ace. And Andre's the biggest returner.
Whitesnake would be proud.
And that's an unbelievable serve. That serve is mentored very well. Even as a junior, he had the same coach all the way through. The Deutsche Tennis Federation.
That's in.
That's why they call him the Punisher.
What a winner.
That is a solidify that break with a hold. Hold of serve. A lot of unforced. It's so similar to grass.
U.S. made this round, beating France in April of 1989.
15 by
Great pass by Andre. Germany will pick and choose the surface according to how their players match up. And that's why they did it.
Agassi with the power.
30 beide.
You can really
The tennis world.
great first serve by Andre.
40.
Germany was tennis crazy in this era.
Germany! Boris Becker finding that ball so well. Andre coughs up a little shot. Boris goes behind him. Gets him off-footed, off-step.
Deuce. Agassi to the nets. That's ruled out.
That was a Jonah so good. And his hand-eye is probably the best ever. Is growing up playing in altitude. Boris is going nuts. Andre Agassi just pushing him around with that great backhand. I mean, that's a big shot. And Andre's a big. The first set.
Break chance.
Einstein.
Great preserve by Andre to create a big angle.
And now back towards the center of the court.
Playing right into Boris's big forehand isn't going to do it. That is a perfect example. Brothers and sisters also played, so we had plenty of competition.
Out. What is that?
Called out.
Points. Look at Andre. With so much confidence. 7
Of his career and the amazing renaissance he had nearly a decade later.
15 love.
The Punisher, Andre Agassi, from the baseline.
30 love.
Another great serve. Vibration of the racket. First player to do that.
40 love.
Yeah, this is a rubber band.
There's the ace. Impeccable in that game. Becker.
Hoping to get this first set for Team USA. Oh, Becker getting pumped up. I love to see that. Individuals.
Becker in the Tennis Hall of Fame. Agassi on his way.
If I don't make a comeback. But, well, the game's pretty much remained the same. You know, the coaches have changed. He's had Brad Gilbert a while. Brad Gilbert is on the squad that they're playing with. Obviously, maybe they started what he's got.
Off the net cord.
That's a great off-pace chip by Boris.
Quiet, please. Out. Ball is out.
Andre trying to. These guys are hometown boys. That's unbelievable. The way Andre moves the ball around. And even Pete Sampras, for that matter, won last year's U.S. Open and used the same Wilson Pro staff throughout his entire career. Keen on a break with his great returns. He gives it a go, though, doesn't he?
15 love.
Image was everything at this time.
Yeah. Oh, and he tosses the racket.
30 schnell. 40 schnell.
And he rocks the boat to a 40-love lead. Look at his feet, lifts the toe. And that's all she wrote.
Big time results.
Game chance.
Was the norm throughout associated with your brother.
I thought I was carrying him at that time, being the number 2 player in the country in the 18 and under division. Andre turned pro. What's it like? You know, you're living our dream, and it's just amazing.
And you got to realize your dream at one point. Winning in Paris as well on the red clay for a grand slam. So Germany trying to level this Davis Cup semi.
30-15. 30.
Great approach out by Boris. That's what he's got to do. Specialist.
Fault.
Double fault.
Should have gone wide.
There's a winner.
That is Andre at his best. Now that was a shot.
The break goes to Becker.
Serving here, big boom boom Becker. Back on track. Look at that serve, right in the corner.
Plunging into that one.
I mean, Boris Becker starts. You don't want to jump. Look at this guy. That's 3 bombs. 40. The first big guys to go further than just, a flash in the pan.
Sensational in this service game. Becker clicking. In 1900, head-to-head competition, the U.S. and Great Britain. So traditional tennis, should this force past a 6-6 tie. Agassi to the net, puts it away.
30-0.
There's 2 here on the baseline. Andre with an unforced error. It's a great place backhand, Andre.
For Agassi. He closes it out. And this first set moves to a tiebreaker.
In control after being down a break. And he gets the first one.
Here in company in the late 80s.
We'd have some battles. Becker.
And deep.
Out.
The name of the game for Andre.
And there's the mini break.
And that's that racket at speed I'm talking. They tagged it again. Andre, he didn't even have to.
Disturbing.
Five,
5-1.
Winded. Second match, day 1. First set was extremely lengthy in both this match and
6-1.
the match prior.
6-1.
Point chance for Agassi. And they'll have to wait.
That's all she wrote.
6-2.
Excellent play by Boris Becker.
Forehand winner.
keeping serve.
First set,
The
United
game to
States.
Agassi.
7-6.
And he takes the first set via the tiebreaker. 7-6.
Favorite. Not a problem. Just going to find his rhythm. Hope to break Andre down.
15-0. 15 love.
It's a great shot by Agassi.
30 love.
Off his.
Awarding a cup to the winner of the head-to-head matchup between the Great Britain and the USA in the late 1890s and
Providing clinics and tennis instruction to St. Louis's youth.
Out. Ball is out.
and that's out.
It's the site of world.
Affluent family, so had some spending money to head out and buy a cup.
Spiel game United States. First
That's all
game,
it
second
takes. And
set.
here, Andre, get out there and have some fun and see their legend, their heroes. And you've got some legends here. Becker serving huge.
Love.
Becker at the net. That's in.
You know, Andre became.
Game over the years. There were
Yeah.
occasionally whispers of an inability to close out matches at this era.
You know, he's had a couple of years. Brad Gilbert, who's on this Davis Cup squad, revived his game. He had so much going on, and when he trimmed the fat, not only in his personal life, but as a player, he got one coach, got rid of the G4. But here in Davis Cup, nobody's tanking.
Totally different
It
atmosphere.
really, Andre was really cool about him. I think Davis Cup meant more to him than the tour.
Up 2-love, Agassi serving in the second set. Becker!
15, love 15.
I think so. He fights hard every point. He maybe not doesn't win so easily.
15 by
It's very cool to play in Europe because they take their sports very, very seriously, whether it be soccer. It's called football there, without helmets. But tennis is so big in Germany. The fan. I think depending on who they're doing it for or against. And that's a break for Becker.
Becker with the break. Merely 17 years of age when he won at the Big W.
Andre answers that break of serve with those. He's got a glare to him too. Seeing him in the locker room. I didn't want any of that.
Or that.
I mean, do you hear the pop?
The ball explodes.
Now that's some touch by Boris Becker. Boris with that great knee bend, reaches up. It's almost like he's serving all straight down. There's another bad ball toss.
40, 30.
And he capitalizes.
The serve, much different serve. Quick motion, doesn't do much with it.
Off the net cord.
And being the gentleman. See that? Boris played that point great. Second serve, he was on his toes, jumping around, and he was possibly losing that first set.
Out.
Out.
The German captain.
Drei.
You know, Andre's dreaming of it because he's going to take. Andre is definitely out of his element serving and volleying. It's not a bad sneak. Tennis in the crib. His dad taped a racket to his hand and hung a ball above him. Said Andre starts.
Becker. Agassi with the return.
That is an awesome play. Huge serve by Boris Becker. Ahead of him. He's coming out smoking on the first serve.
30.
There's two in a row. He's got his right. Very surface. They moved that over so Boris can keep training on it. Look at this shot. Pressure, pressure. Boris is just playing tiebreakers every set and having matches go to the wire. That's the shot of the match so far.
Dancing down the line. Becker.
That's what he's talking about.
Sartorial splendor, no doubt. Level at 5 in the second set.
Move it around.
And it's well placed.
You know the thing about playing on a is this surface helps Andre serve.
Becker moves in, and he's got it.
You know, for a big guy, this guy's got the hands. In Germany. For more than his hands. We got a big point here at 5-all.
Out.
40-15.
Serve bombs.
Game points for Agassi, and he wastes little time. Some difficult moments in the 80s. A lot of pressure being a Davis Cup captain.
Yeah, I think he had the most trouble picking teams. That's called the 1-2 punch with Boris Becker. Slide early in the game to get up. In the count, there's 30 love. Boris Becker. This is a fast court.
Down the line.
Great exchange of punches there. Weight classes. You've got big boom boom Becker against the fast and fiery Andre Agassi.
Trying to close out the service game.
Force another breaker. There
And
it
he's
is.
got it.
His confidence and brashness of a young superstar.
What a shot!
Can rattle his rhythm a little bit.
Big winner. Net cord. On Becker. Agassi to serve. That's in. 2 hours old. Agassi, nicely done.
Fault. Ball is
Double fault in a tiebreak.
Magic. The big Boris Becker.
Blistering shot.
That's unbelievable.
sixth try. United States.
Great rally by Boris. Boris hanging on
6-2.
at anything.
Now Agassi serves for the set. And he's got it.
Game in
2
second
sets
set, United
complete.
States.
In this classic semifinal tie, both decided by...
Is always in the running at Grand Slams.
And that's a mark of greatness, playing your best when... And the winner.
30 live.
Maybe a quarterfinal stint at a Wimbledon once. Struggled on the other surfaces.
And that's what makes the fantasy tennis, if you will, discussion. His detractors point that out, whereas supporters of Agassi come back with the versatility.
Yeah.
Game, United States.
Well, Pete pretty much owned. It's been the story here tonight. That's a pretty volley. Boris Becker. This is on the return side. And Becker being a big guy, he definitely thinks this along the same lines. Once again, trying to win from the base. Plays for a German club team. Can you imagine, like,
30-15.
well, very nice touch.
The game to Germany. Becker holds. He leads 2-1 in the third.
Ankle, not a hair out of place. But down 2 sets.
And brilliant there.
That forehand. Andre pulls him out wide.
Becker's in. Agassi gets it. Becker!
That's what I'm talking about. Boris Becker is going to have to barely get into it. Boris throwing his body at the ball.
Maybe too amped up now.
Yeah.
Of this serve. Still another break chance.
And Andre doesn't have a big... distance.
That's out off the court.
Oh, what a bad luck.
The break to Becker. He moves ahead. 3-1 in the third.
Here we got Boris getting ready to go.
Unreturnable.
See, there's the first serve. 80%. 85%. There's another first serve. Three first serves.
Agassi counters.
40-15.
Another tough shot by Agassi.
Boris leaves the lines, as you can see. Volleys.
The ace for the game. Becker looking sharp in the third.
Pulling that out.
Comes Becker, but right past him.
Boris to win this set. And Andre jumps into that shot. Right back.
Deep.
Crowd is.
What angles on that sequence?
It's unbelievable. Andre. It's a great serve. Boris. Boris is not happy. Boris hitting the point quickly. And a double.
Long run. Do you think
They're not thinking about the Olympics too often. If they want to qualify for it.
And all the better if you can medal.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Boris Becker. Here they got to book it in their schedule.
Agassi. Smooth.
That is just huge by Boris Becker.
Becker's got it. The third. Waiting for the Agassi serve.
Andre is setting up the point.
We'll go Jackson Pollock, pick an American.
Yeah, there you go. Then we've got, want to meet, cut off the distance between Boris there. Cutting off the distance.
There.
Oh.
Can he do it again? Still on the run. Wow.
These guys are just running around, playing cat and mouse. It's harder to get to the ball. They play that way. Weak return to serve by Boris Becker. And a double fault. Like in other sports, it's a big advantage.
Wide.
It's a great exchange, though. You've got
Net cordon in. Becker. There's Agassi.
I mean, Agassi's got the
The break to Agassi. The French on that Grand Slam lineup. That looked deep.
Andre Agassi. Back on serve.
Just one.
He had the shot. And Andre's got an answer for everything Boris throws. Awesome pass by Andre Agassi.
Game points waiting for Agassi. He doesn't wait long. It was once 5-2 Becker in this.
And you learn to develop your game according to what you've got to play with. Andre attacking the short ball. Great play by Boris Becker, getting on into. Great opportunity for Andre Agassi. And that's all she wrote.
Agassi with the break, moving ahead 6-5 in the third, trying to serve it out. His career. Becker's in, and the point.
That's the Boris Becker that is. Andre Agassi hoping to close it out, as you're saying. Like Boris dares. What a different player Boris Becker is. Chance to break back. Look at the crowd on their feet. The drop volley by Andre Agassi. And the scoop lob. Mini.
Still another break chance. The break to Boris Becker. Level at 6, and yet another tiebreaker.
An Italian umpire doing the score in German.
There's that big serve.
Opportunity for Boris, second serve. And he gets it!
Looping it in. Becker needing this tiebreak to stay alive in this rubber.
And that's just meat and potatoes by Andre Agassi.
Becker.
Andre forcing this shorter forehand. Look at the angle. And what brought that ball in was topspin. The low to high motion.
3-1 Becker. 4-1 Becker.
And that is Andre Agassi for the first time in some trouble, but
Not flustered.
you can see the excitement when he hits his shots. But Andre Agassi,
Look at this action at the net. Unbelievable!
there's Boris Becker showing emotion.
And now, multiple set points for Becker. Agassi won't go away.
6-4.
Big chance.
Crowd can't contain its enthusiasm. They don't have to wait. Becker wins the tiebreaker, staying alive by taking the third set. Oscillating sets complete. We move to the fourth. Becker up a break, 2-1.
Turn of events. Becker's in control. And you notice so many of the third set. See, the easier Boris having the match in his hands. It's on his racket, as Agassi did.
Double fault.
30-15.
Not going to be easy to do with signature Boris Becker.
Game to Becker, upping his lead to 3-1 in the fourth.
Point in the match. Becker is finding his...
The background reads 11:30, roughly, p.m. in Munich. Not many folks, though, leaving their seats.
15 by
I think... Andre showing some frustration. Be these late matches.
Net court and in. This is Andre Agassi.
Unbelievable.
Wild to concede. Nice.
Romantically involved, but I think they were friends, and she was a big fan of the game.
Spiel gegen United States.
Daviscup epic match.
Fault.
It's a great second serve. Great player in his own right.
Behind the serve for the point.
This is in great company.
Nicely done.
30 bei
See, as it Boris Becker rallying from the baseline.
What a shot! And the break to Agassi. Level it through.
Completely different players.
Agassi wide.
He has the entire court to work with.
Let's see if we can have a standard point. Perfectly placed.
He's found the rhythm. Boris Becker.
Multiple break chances. Becker's got it. And the crowd roars its approval. This an ace.
He has got to serve at this time anymore. He stuck with his gun, the racket that won him those Wimbledon championships. Great shot by Boris Becker.
On cue. Down the tee. That's in.
Second serve ace. The race cars and the private jet. Becker just handles himself so well, and he demands a lot out of the people of Germany. Becker getting stronger with every point. Oh, the hands of Agassi up at the net. Great second serve by Agassi. So now Boris is playing like
that's in. Becker, cool when it counts, takes the fourth set. Midnight in Munich. Now it is 2:23 the following afternoon. By city ordinance, this match was halted because of a midnight curfew. So the players went home, came back the following afternoon. It's 2-1 Becker in the decisive fifth set. And mentally, what could the effect be on these players if you're at...
both players coming back with the same outfits they were playing in last night. It really comes down to, can Andre forget about the big lead he had? The advantage goes to Becker. Instead of thinking about, the game now, approaching love 40, Becker's in control early.
And moves ahead 3-1 in the fifth, battling back from 2 sets down. Becker's in. Agassi's got that break.
United States.
Hanging tough in the fifth.
New balls.
Up Agassi serving. Winner of this set wins the rubber. And the U.S. already with the...
Will return the favor and let Agassi take home the cup. See, Andre's in trouble now. Becker's had just got to hold on to that serve. You notice there's Becker.
Agassi's got it.
That is talent.
30 Steine.
This guy, Andre Agassi.
40-30.
Game to Agassi. And fittingly, this rubber...
He's got to get a lot of first serves here to retain. Look at that.
The ace.
That's maybe the first. Set up the point perfectly, Boris. Cup action. And that's the 1-2 punch by Boris Becker. Serving wide of the forehand.
That's in.
Topspin lob. Double fault. Boris Becker. The Daviscup crowd, which is nearly impossible.
Agassi. A stellar break. He moves.
Andre Agassi with a good start. Oh, he doesn't like that call. Being down a break so close. Oh. An exchange of forehands. Just stops moving.
Deep.
Almost near the doubles line to serve this ball.
Agassi gets it once, but not twice.
Tried the trickery. Did not work on Big Boom Boom Becker.
That's out.
And he's pumped up.
The emotion.
Oh, this would go on forever.
They'd still be playing. Ace.
And look at Becker getting pumped up. Oh, that was a great volley. He stuck it. He got in behind the serve. And they explode in Munich, Germany.
Now Agassi can walk. Agassi needing a hold of serve here.
that helps. Becker,
15 love.
Agassi just trying to hold on.
Long. Wow.
The backhand down the line. Get this point.
Becker's in and into the net.
It's a great move.
Becker's got it. And he senses he can seize this rubber.
Great first serve by Andre Agassi. The backhand down the line. Becker going all out. And boom, boom. Runs around the backhand.
Thank you.
Another match point, Becker. Becker's got it. What a rally in Munich.
Boris Becker and family. One of the greatest matches in Daviscup history. And Boris throws his racket into the crowd.